أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وإيمانا وفقها في الدين. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وتجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا رب العالمين. باب صلاة الجمعة. Chapter of Jum'ah prayer, Friday prayer. So this discusses about the preconditions of Friday prayer and also conditions of validity, right? An acceptable justification for not attending Jum'ah prayer. Alright, what excuse or what justification will be considered valid and acceptable when someone whom Friday prayer is obligated upon the person to attend? Right, so we will discuss all this in this chapter, inshallah. He said, Babu Salati al-Jum'ah. So a chapter that discusses about the Friday prayer. قال المؤلف رحمه الله وصلاة الجمعة فرض على الأعيان. So he said the Friday prayer, the Jum'ah prayer, is obligatory upon every individual. على الأعيان is an individual obligation, an individual obligation, right? Not on everyone, but Friday prayer is what? An individual obligation, because we have a collective obligation and we also have individual obligation, right? So Salat al-Janaza is what? It's a collective obligation, but Salat al-Jum'ah is what? An individual obligation, meaning anyone who fulfills the conditions that we'll be discussing, then Salat al-Jum'ah, attending Salat al-Jum'ah, attending Friday prayer is what? Obligatory upon the person. Is that clear? And he said, وَلَهَا شُرُوطُ وُجُوبٍ. So this Friday prayer, it has what? Preconditions or conditions of what? Obligation. Right? These conditions, if these conditions are met, then Friday prayer becomes what? Obligatory upon the person. Right? So, وَأَرْكَانٍ, and it also has what? Pillars. وَآدَابِ, it also has manners. وَأَعْذَارِ تُبِيحُ التَّخَلُّفَ عَنْهَا. تُبِيحُ التَّخَلُّفَ عَنْهَا. And also there are what? Excuses or acceptable justification for those who are not able to make it. Right? So we also discuss this. What will be considered acceptable excuse, an acceptable excuse or justification. And also, and he said, فَأَمَّا شُرُوطُ وُجُوبِهَا فَسَبَعَةٌ. So now he's starting with what? The precondition or conditions of what? Obligation. So these conditions, when they are met, then it becomes what? It becomes attending Jum'ah prayer becomes what? Obligatory upon an individual. He said, there are 7. The first one is Islam. A person has to be a Muslim. This, it's not obligatory upon what? Non-Muslims. It's what? Al-Islam. Wal-Bulugh. Maturity. Right? So, Jum'ah prayer is not what? Obligatory upon minors, upon children. Wal-Aqlu. Sanity. Right? The person should be what? Should not be mentally ill. The person should be what? Mentally sound. And then he said was dhukuriya, and also masculinity. So here maleness is also what? An obligation, a condition here. So meaning it means that Friday prayer is not obligatory upon women. Right? It's not obligatory on women to what? To attend the Friday prayer. But when they choose to attend, they will gain the reward of the Friday prayer, right? They will gain the reward of coming early to listen to the khutbah. They also gain the reward of listening to the khutbah, and also gain the reward of coming, right? Of walking to the masjid. So, but it's not obligatory upon them. The adult women, it's not obligatory upon them, but they can, when they choose to attend, it's they will gain the reward. And also wal hurriya, that's freedom. A person has to be free and not a slave. So Friday prayer, it's not obligatory upon a slave, right? So when a person is under slavery, the person is attending Friday prayer is it's not obligatory upon the person, right? But it's not obligatory upon the person. But if, let's say, the master permits the slave to attend, then he can attend them. Or if he even attend without the permission of the master, it's still, the Juma prayer is still acceptable, and then also he will be rewarded for his attendance. Wal hurriya, that's freedom. So here meaning slavery it means that the person don't have free movement of himself, right? He can't move freely as a free person, right? So because of that, it's not obligatory upon the person. So if, let's say, Friday prayer should be obligated upon a slave, the person will always be sinful, because the master, because living without the permission of the master is sinful. I understand. And then as a slave, he can't move freely compared to a free person. You get it? So hurriya, freedom, is also one of the conditions. Wal iqama, and also residence. A person should be in a place of his residence, meaning a place where he has settled or is living, meaning he's not a traveler. Where you are, where you find yourself, you are not a stranger. You are not a stranger there. That's your place of residence. So people living in a specific location, a specific place, it's obligatory upon them, right? Meaning it means that as Friday prayer is not obligatory on a traveler, right? So a person who is not a traveler is is a resident, right? So being a resident is also a condition, right? And then siha, and also health, and when a person is strong and fit, then it becomes obligatory. So if any of these preconditions or conditions of obligation it's missing, then prayer is not obligatory. Let's say a person is sick and cannot walk, right? Cannot walk to the masjid, right? So attending the Friday prayer is not obligatory. You understand? And if a person is under captivity, or is a captive, or under slavery, it's also not obligatory. You understand? And if a person is also traveling, it's also it's not binding upon the person to attend. Okay.
Say about the slavery, even though slavery is not done nowadays, but when maybe a worker from different region or something is being adopted by maybe a master, so and he's working
adopted by a family.
Well, yes.
Because if you are talking about adoption, then it has to be from a family. An adopted child or person is not a slave. You get it? Yeah.
Okay. Like maybe a woman is there, she has store, and she needs...
She has what?
A store, she sells
Okay,
products.
okay.
And she needs someone who will be helping her.
Okay.
And maybe she found someone the person doesn't have like homeless.
Yes, yeah.
And she took her in so that she'll be watching
Yeah.
and helping her. With such person too is, I mean, Friday prayer obligatory for the person because she can't.
Is the person male or female?
Male.
Yeah, so the person is not slave. So the person now is a servant.
Okay.
Right? It's a servant, and a servant is not a slave. So if the person is an adult, then Friday prayer becomes out obligatory upon the person.
Even if the master refuses.
Yeah, it's not a slave, it's a free person. So he has to be permitted to go and pray. If it's a slave, then it's a different issue. But here, in this case, it's not a slave. So here, it means that the person, the owner of the provision shop, she is hiring the person's service. You understand? But the person is there to serve her, to help her with what? With a house chores or the trade. You understand? So it's not a slave, it's a servant. You get it? So it's obligatory upon him to, if he's an adult Muslim, it's sound, healthy, sound in mind, then he has to attending is obligatory. So it also means that whoever fulfill these conditions and fail to attend the Friday prayer, the Friday congregational prayer, without any legitimate excuse or reason, the person is sinful. So later we discuss these excuses or the justification that prevent a person from attending.
Okay, so what do you mean? I'm having a sister, and she works for me. Now that I know that Juma prayers is not wajib on her,
Yeah.
maybe can I ask her to go, or maybe can I ask her to stay? So it's my option to give her, or maybe, or
No, so it's not obligatory on her, but it's obligatory on you.
yes.
So do you want to leave the shop open or you want to close? If you want to leave the shop open, then she has to be there. You understand? You can't permit her to go and you will look after it because it's obligatory on you and not her. So she has to what? She has to be there. But if she decides to go, you have to what? You have to close the shop and all and attend the prayer together. You get it? Yeah.
In a scenario of a resident, maybe you travel to Kaswa, even though you don't have any resident there. So it's not permissible. I mean, it's not obligatory upon you.
To where?
Kaswa, just here.
So from where to Kaswa?
From Nima to Kaswa.
I mean, Nima to Kaswa is not traveling. You are not traveling. You are not traveling. And then where? It's still obligatory on you.
It's still
Yeah, it's still obligatory.
Maybe you couldn't get to pray because of certain things.
Like what?
Maybe some factors.
You know, these factors, we can't say some factors. There are certain things that are acceptable, there are certain things that are not acceptable. You get it? So these factors should be mentioned so that we know whether it's permissible or not.
Maybe you are in a hurry.
To go where?
You went to Kaswa and you are in a hurry to catch a bus.
Okay.
So that
To where?
to come back. Maybe to come back to Nima. And let's say
And pray in Nima.
Well, you went there in the morning
Yeah.
to go and do certain things
Yeah.
and you've gotten it done, so you are in a hurry to come back, probably, or to catch a bus before the bus will miss, and it's around 11 something,
Okay.
very few minutes to prayer time. So is it still, are you sinful because you want to catch the bus to be able to come back to Nima?
Yeah, so you have to calculate. You have to calculate the time. Okay, you know that stretch, there's so much jam there, there's so much traffic, right? So 1 hour, you can't get to Nima in an hour.
Maybe
Right,
the
you
bus
know.
that's the only express available.
Hey, brother, in Kaswa, you don't have any express bus there. All the buses are the same, right? They load on the way and all that. So unless it's a private bus, then that's a different thing. But if it's not a private bus, then you have to calculate the time. Let's say it's left with 2 hours. With 2 hours, you can catch up. You get it. But if it's left with an hour, do yourself, some good to just wait and then pray Juma there. So here, when you try to come back to Nima, if you try to catch up the Juma prayer in Nima, and then you are not able to do that because of the traffic, you are sinful. Because you caused it. This is not a legitimate excuse. You understand? You could pray there, but you decided not to. Alright?
So, but what they meant by the traveling is maybe you went to Kumasi to visit.
Yeah, so traveling, brothers. Traveling, you have to when you leave, let's say you travel for 48 miles.
48 miles.
Yeah, 48 miles from your residence. You understand? From your residence, let's say you are a resident of Accra, and you travel to Kumasi, or you travel to Tamale, or you travel to Koforidua. You understand? All these distance, you've traveled beyond the distance, beyond these 48 miles. So you can what? Here, it's not what? Praying or participating in the Juma prayer, it's not obligatory anymore. Because you are a traveler. You understand? But when you are in your residence, meaning you are a resident of Accra, anywhere you are in Accra, Friday prayer becomes what? Obligatory. You are not a traveler. Just that you are not at home, but you are not a traveler. Do you get it? So don't differentiate being home and being somewhere within the city that you live. Do you get it?
Yes. So in that scenario, it means that you traveled and even you got to the residence you are in. Maybe you went to visit a family.
At where?
Maybe let's say Northern region.
Okay.
For 2 days or something.
Okay.
So you got there Thursday, you were there Friday. You can go, but it's not obligatory.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go. So here, if you intend to stay for 2 days, then you pray Qasr. We will discuss about shortening prayer in travel. During travel, we will discuss that inshallah. So when you intend to stay for 2 days, you pray Qasr, and then Juma prayer is not obligatory on you. But when you go, you'll be rewarded for it. You get it? But it's not obligatory. Meaning, when you decide to stay at home and rest, you are not sinful. So what do you do when you stay home? You pray Zuhur. You get it? You can't pray for you are a traveler, so you pray what? 2 rakats. But you get it? Yeah. Alright, so وَأَمَّا أَرْكَانُهَا. So here, these are what? Some of the pillars, some of the... Yeah. He said, فَخَمْسَةٌ وَأَمَّا أَرْكَانُهَا فَخَمْسَةٌ. The pillars of what? Of validity of Friday prayer, right? Meaning the conditions of validity. So meaning if these 5 conditions are met, then Friday prayer becomes what? Valid. You understand? But if any of these condition is missing or is not fulfilled, then it's what? The Friday prayer will not be considered valid. Is that clear? All right. He said, Al-awwalu al-masjid, alladhi yakunu jami'an. So the first condition should be what? The Friday prayer should be what? Should be conducted in a masjid, right? In a jamia where the 5 daily prayer is what? Being observed. You understand? So let's say a mosque that the Friday prayer is not observed in, it's not a jamia. Right? So wherever people meet, it should be what? In a mosque, a well-structured mosque. When you see this building, you know that this is what? This is a mosque, and people pray in that mosque 5 times a day. Is that clear? So that's the first what? The first condition should be what? In a mosque. In a mosque, in a jamia. Right? And then it's recommended also that it should be what? Be conducted in the oldest masjid of the city.
Oldest?
Yeah, the oldest. Yeah, you get it. But if, let's say there are many masajid, let's say, like we have today, small mosque, that cannot contain 2,000 congregants, then we can pray in that other mosque. I understand. Yeah. And then والثاني الجماعة. Condition number 2, al-jama'a. That's the congregation, the group, the congregation. So here, and he said وَلَيْسَ لَهُمْ حَدٌّ عِنْدَ مَالِكٍ. So he said there should be what? There should be group of people, congregation. Because Friday prayer is what? It's a congregational prayer, right? So it should be what? In a group, right? In a group. And he said there's no specific number or there's no minimum number to this group. According to the founder of what? The madhab, that's Imam Malik. According to Imam Malik, there's no minimum number to this group. Meaning 4 people, 5, 10 can observe it. This according to Imam Malik. Okay? Okay. So he will mention other things too. So this according to what the founder. There's no minimum number to this group. Right? بل لابد أن تكون جماعة تتقوى بهم قرية. Right? So it should be a number that can, let's say, can represent a village or a town, right? A specific number that, let's say, can defend a town, right? When there's an issue. Do you get it? But here we will explain further. But let's continue. He said, ورجح بعض علمائنا أنها تجوز ب12 رجلا باقين لسلامها. So he said, some scholars recommend that some scholars are of the view that this group should consist of what? 12 men. 12 men. That's the minimum number according to what? According to that, some scholars of the madhab. Yeah, of our madhab. You get it? 12 minimum, 12 people. Right? But according to Imam Malik, there's no specific number. But according to what his students and then those who came after him, they've what? They are all of the they are of the view that it should be a group of 12 men, right? So 12 men here, let's say there are 10 men in the masjid, including the Imam 11, and 15 children, minor, and 20 women. Still, when they pray, the Friday prayer is not valid. Yes. Yeah, why? It's not like the women, they are not important. No, they are important, but it's not obligatory upon them. The minimum number should be those that Friday prayer is obligatory. You get it? Do you get this? Is this clear? So it is obligated on what? When we say men, we are referring to what? Adults, Muslims. You understand? Those who are legally responsible. Free men. You understand? Adults. You know? These Friday prayers are obligated upon them.
So, doesn't that conflict what Imam Malik?
Yeah, so the Imam Malik said that, but that's not the prominent opinion in the madhab. His view that there's no minimum to this group, it's not the prominent opinion in the madhab. So 3 people, according to him, 3 people can constitute what? Can pray Jummah. But according to the majority of the scholars of the madhab, it's not valid. So the minimum has to be 12. 12. You get it? So this is also one of the conditions. You'll be what? The minimum should be what? 12 men. So let's say that Friday prayer is ongoing and then something happened outside the mosque that people have to go out to intervene. So in this case, when all of them leave, the Imam, the Friday prayer is not valid. They have to repeat it.
What if maybe you're going to come?
So, but when most of them leave and it's left with, let's say, 20 men or 12 or 13, then the Imam can continue with the khutbah and then pray, and then the Juma prayer is valid. You understand? Even if there are 100 women there, they are not considered part of the group. But of course, they are there, they will be rewarded for their attendance, they will be rewarded for their prayer, the blessing of Juma. Do you get it?
Okay, sure. What if maybe, what's the name? Out of the 12
Men.
men,
Mm-hmm.
if you say 12, plus the Imam or those sitting,
Plus the Imam, including the Imam.
making 12.
Yeah. Making the Imam 12.
Okay, those who left, will they get their reward?
No, they won't.
And those who are sitting?
Yeah, of course they will get their reward. Yeah. And we will talk about the manners of listening to the khutbah too. Right? So there are different opinions on this minimum number. There are some who said 10, there are some who said 40. But according to our madhab, according to the popular opinion of the madhab is 12 men.
See, the 40 the men, are they talking about men?
Yeah.
Oh.
40. But this is not according to our madhab. According to our madhab is what?
12 men.
12 men. Okay. And then these men. So here we said earlier that the author, the Mu'allif rahimahullah, said that according to Imam Malik, we were discussing the pillars of what? Friday prayer, the conditions of Friday prayer. So these conditions, when they are fulfilled, when they are met, then Friday prayer, Juma prayer will be considered valid. But if any condition from these 5 conditions is missing, then the Friday prayer will not be considered what? Valid. And we said the Friday prayer should be done in what? In a masjid, in a well-structured masjid. So a masjid where it's a kind of a shape of a masjid that it's done with stone, it's not considered masjid, right? So here the condition of masjid is not what? It's not met. So people there, when they pray Jum'ah, it's not what? It's not considered Jum'ah, so they have to pray Zuhur, right? Because the Jamia, the condition of Jamia is not met. Do you get it? And then the second one we are mentioning of what? The group. You understand? Because we can't talk of Friday prayer without talking of what? The congregation. So the congregation, according to the Imam of the Mazhab, Imam Malik, there's no minimum number to that group. Meaning 3-4 people can pray Jum'ah. But this is not what? This is not the prominent opinion in the Madhab. According to the majority of scholars in the Madhab, it's what? The minimum number should be 12 men. Right? Should be 12 men. Why only men? Because Friday prayer is not obligatory upon women. Okay? So let's say that there are 200 women in the masjid and there are 4 men with 50 children. Still, the validity of what the condition of what the group or the congregation is still not met. Okay. Right? Because the majority of those in the masjid, Friday prayer is not obligatory upon them. They get it. So the group, the minimum should be what? 12 men. Okay. Including the imam. Right? And they should be with the imam from the beginning of the khutbah till the end of what? The salah. If 1 man or 2 men leave the congregation, then the khutbah is not valid. The salah is also not what? It's not valid. They have to repeat. Do you get it? Yeah. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So now, Shoaib is asking, Imam Malik said there's no minimum number to this congregation, right?
Yeah.
So according to Imam Malik, there is 4, 5, 3, 6 can pray. So he's saying that, okay, why don't we consider the opinion of Imam Malik? And I say, yeah, he's the founder, but here his opinion is not what the most prominent. opinion in the madhab. So here, the opinion of what the majority of the scholars of the madhab is what is considered, not what the opinion of Imam Malik. Do you get it? It's not like because he's the founder, so whatever he say in every situation, in every issue, will be accepted. No, it's not like that. You understand? Yeah, he's the founder, and then most of what the issues, they use what his conclusions to what as an evidence or yeah, but not in everything. Do you get it?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why the last time we did the lesson about what is not appropriate, it's what things that are disliked in prayers.
Yeah.
There was one of them we said that Imam Malik said this, but this thing can be done.
Yes, yes, yeah. So it's not like whatever the Imam say is just the final. No, we are not following the Imam blind because the Imam himself, he don't say anything unless with what? With evidence. You understand? And then the scholars who also say that they don't see anything unless with what? With evidence. So they say, okay, and then evidence are not in the same degree. There are some evidence that are stronger than what? Than others, and then there are arguments that are stronger than others. So here, we can't leave the consensus of all, most of the scholars of the madhab and then follow what? One. Do you get it?
So, based on the same situation, maybe in a scenario where maybe there is a town and in that town the villagers or the people in the villages, the men are not to 10 and it's women and this one.
Children.
And also the mosques, they don't really have a mosque, they actually have a structure. Maybe a structure of the mosque around, and that's where they observe their daily prayers. So it means if they observe the Juma, since the number is not up, their Juma is not accepted. So
Yeah, it's not Juma, so they have to pray Zuhur.
So they are obligated to pray Zuhur and not Juma.
Only Zuhur, not Juma. Why? Because the number is not up to, and then the masjid, the condition of masjid is also not what? Not met.
And they are sinful.
No, they are not sinful. Meaning it's not obligatory upon them. You understand? Because the number, it's not up to the number. They get it.
Yeah, but Sheikh, when we're talking about the obligations, we didn't mention about the mosque, the structure.
Yeah, so now it is obligatory upon them looking at what? Individual obligation. We said that Friday prayer is what? An individual obligation. Meaning, if a person, a Muslim, meets all the conditions, then it becomes what? Attending Friday prayer becomes obligatory. And we said the person has to be a Muslim, an adult, the person has to be what? Sound in mind, and also free, not a slave. And also the person has to be a resident, not a traveler. So when all these meet, then it is obligatory upon the individual. But now, all individual can't pray what? Juma. It has to be in a group. So there's a condition of what? Obligation. That's to the individual. And then there's also condition of validity of the Friday prayer. So this is what we are talking about. So if the condition of the validity of Friday prayer is not met, then Zohar prayer should be what? Should be prayed. Do you get it? Like let's say in a town there is big mosque, but there's a kind of a virus outbreak, like Corona, when the Corona happened. There's a kind of a virus outbreak or kind of pandemic time. And then people flee out of the city. Right? And it's left with 4 or 5 men. They thought people are in the city. They came to the masjid on Friday and then they were not up to 5. So here, what do they do here? They'll pray Zohar and go. They get it. They'll pray.
For their working, for their effort.
Yeah, they will be rewarded. And they will not be sinful for not praying Juma. Because they've done what they're supposed to do and then people are not in the city.
So in such condition, can they always benefit from their intention and their
Yes.
efforts?
Yeah, so they will be rewarded for walking to the masjid. They will be rewarded for their intention to come and pray Juma prayer, and be rewarded for even listening to the khutbah because they intended to come and what? Listen to the khutbah. And then they came early, they will be rewarded for that too. You get it? So all this reward, they will be rewarded for. They will get that reward because of the intention. You get it?
Okay. The same thing about this time, because of their number, they will not reach up to 12 to pray the Juma. But they were all intending to come and pray Juma and all the effort and everything. Would they be rewarded for coming to pray Juma, but at the end pray as Zuhur?
Yes, they will be rewarded for everything, but they have to praise God. They have to praise God. You get it?
Okay.
All right. So, then the third one, al-khutbah. الخطبة الأولى وهي ركن على الصحيح وكذلك الخطبة الثانية على المشهور ولا بد أن تكون بعد زوال وقبل الصلاة. Okay, so the third condition of validity of Friday prayer is what? The khutbah. Right? So the first khutbah and the second khutbah. The first khutbah is also what? It's a must. Right? So the khutbah should consist of what? The two khutbah. The first khutbah, then the imam will sit, then the second khutbah. So if the khutbah is done only once without any sitting, then the khutbah is not valid. And the Friday prayer is also not valid. Yes. So it has to be what? It has to be two. Right? The first khutbah, then the imam will sit, then do the second khutbah. Yes. Is that clear?
Is there any clarification on how the khutbah should be done?
We will talk about that. Yeah. So, and then he said, وَلَا بُدَّ أَن تَكُونَ بَعْدَ الزَّوَالِ وَقَبْلَ الصَّلَاةِ. So this khutbah should begin the time of what? Zuhur, قبل الزوال. The time of, بعد الزوال, the time of Zuhur. Let's say Zuhur starts at 12:10. What time does Zuhur start now?
The prayer time or the azan?
No, the azan.
The azan, 12:16.
12:16. Okay, now Zuhur starts from 12:16, right? It starts at 12:16. So 12:16, that's when khutbah can start. The imam can start khutbah exactly at 12:16 or after 12:16. So let's say you can start khutbah at 1 or 12:30 or 12:40. It should be what? After zawal. After the Zuhr prayer has started, has entered. Do you get it? So the khutbah cannot be done before the time of what? Zuhr. Yeah, this is according to our madhab. And according to three madhabs, madhab of Hanafiya, madhab of Shafi'iyya, and our madhab, Malikiyya, the khutbah should begin after zawal, after the time of zuhur. It you can't start the khutbah, let's say, at 11 or at 12, when the time of zuhur is 12:16. You understand? So according to these majority, but there's one scholar, Imam Ahmad, who said that the khutbah can be read before zawal. You understand? But this is madhab of the minority. Only one scholar. I think also Imam Sufyan. So only some few scholars, but majority are saying that it should be read at the time of what? At the time of Zuhur.
Is that the reason why most masajid, they delay prayer to around 2 going to 3?
Yeah, so yes. So it can be between this time till Asr prayer, but not before Zuhur. Do you get it? Not before Zuhur. But after Zuhur till 2, it's still acceptable. Do you get it? You can, let's say, start the khutbah at 1, whereas Zuhur start at 12:16. We start the khutbah 1 o'clock and pray at 1:40. It's acceptable.
Yeah.
You get it?
Sure. Also, since there is a mazhab that supports the fact that you can start before Zuhur, if you do that, it's sinful. Though it's not the majority.
Yeah, so here, if you do that, you are not sinful, but according to your mazhab, it's not acceptable. According to our mazhab, it's not acceptable, right? But when you do it, it's not, you are not sinful, but it's not recommended to do that. You get it? Because most people are known or are used to what? Praying after Zawal. Do you get it? Most people are known and used to praying after Zawal. When you pray before Zawal, it's what? It's kind of deviation to what? To the norm. You understand? Deviation to the norm and also to the madhab. And to the also consensus of what? The majority. So always it's recommended you follow what? You follow the majority. You get it?
Some masajid pray around 11:30. They'll start the khutbah 11:30, somewhere they come to 12 or maybe in the middle of 12, but they finish there.
Yeah, so now, here according to our madhab, this Friday prayer is not valid. Why? Because the khutbah should begin after Zawal. According to the madhab of majority, Hanafiya, Shafi'iyya, Malikiyya. According to this madhab, it should start after Zawal. So meaning that Friday prayer, according to the consensus of what? Of majority, it's not valid. Right? Because the one condition of validity is what? Is missed. That is, the khutbah should begin after Zawal. Is that clear?
Okay, sure. As he asked, maybe what if maybe there are numerous of reports according to what they are doing? Because if maybe our Imam Malik, before he will come to a conclusion, maybe he will check that hadith before getting that conclusion, or maybe he didn't see it before you conclude on what.
Imam Malik didn't say anything on this. This consensus of what? Of these, all these scholars. Did we mention Malik on this particular issue? Where we mentioned Malik was on the number of the congregation. Right? But here, this what? According to this, all the scholars of the madhab. That's what they say. Now, when they mention something like this, meaning there's no any other opinion in the madhab. You understand? Not to talk of other madhabs. We spoke about the three known madhabs, except only one who said you can pray, you can start the khutbah, you can pray before Zawal. And then, so now, here the argument is that this khutbah is considered what? Two rakat of a zuhr, right? And then this Jumu'ah prayer, it's what? It replaces what? It's in place of what? Zuhur prayer. So do you pray Zuhur before it's time? It's like you've prayed 2 rakat of Zuhur at 11 and pray 2 rakat of Zuhur at 12:16. Is this prayer valid? Yeah. You understand? But this is not the analogy we are making, but we are saying that according to what the majority of scholars, this is what they are saying. Is that clear? Yeah. Okay. So he said, Wala Buddha, and then they're saying, Wala Buddha, it must be. Wala Buddha an takuna ba'da zawali wa qabla salah. So this khutbah should be in the time of Zuhur, and then the salah should be preceded by the khutbah. So meaning, when let's say the imam come and pray the Jummah prayer, the 2 rakat, before the khutbah, he has to repeat the Jummah prayer after the khutbah.
Okay.
Do you get it? Is that clear? Alright. Said وَلَيْسَ فِي الْخُطْبَةِ حَدٌّ عِنْدَ مَالِكٍ أيضا. He said also there's no limit to the khutbah, like definition to the khutbah. How should it be done? How should it be read? What should it consist of? According to Malik, okay? وَلَا بُدَّ أَن تَكُونَ مِمَّا تُسَمِّيهِ الْعَرَبُ خُطْبَةً. Right? But it should be what? It should be what is known to the Arabs as what? As khutbah, as a speech. Right? So a speech, a certain what? They have a certain definition of a speech according to the Arabs. Right? Understand? It should consist of a certain thing. So it should not just be anything. We will elaborate a bit on that. So he said, ولا بد أن تكون مما تسميه العرب خطبة وتستحب الطهارة فيهما وفي وجوب القيام لها تردد. Okay, so now the khutbah, they say that part of the conditions of the khutbah is that the khutbah should be, part of the khutbah should be read in Arabic. You understand? Not all, because we are not Arabs here, right? So all of the khutbah cannot be read what? In Arabic. So the minimum of the Arabic statement in the khutbah should be Inna alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inu wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. So this, if you read this, only this in Arabic, it suffices. The rest can be what in your language.
Okay.
You understand? And the first part of the khutbah, it's not a must that all should be in Arabic. You understand? And then they also say that if let's say among the congregation there's no one who speaks Arabic, then you can what? All the khutbah can be in the language of the people. But if there are people in the masjid, in the congregation, who understand Arabic, then you have to what? You have to read the minimum part of Arabic in the khutbah. You understand?
Yes.
Is that clear?
Yes.
All right. All right. And then also, part of the recommendation or the adab of the khutbah is that the imam should have a valid ablution, right? And the imam should stand to read the khutbah. You understand? But when he sits because of deficiency, because of illness, that's also what, it's not a problem. But if his faith strong, he should what? He should stand and what? And read the khutbah.
So remember in Turkey, like the imams, they read the Arabic as very short.
Mm-hmm.
They just read maybe they start with the alhamdulillah, as you are saying,
Yeah.
and they read maybe
A verse and then a
and also
hadith. Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, that's one.
The
So
rest are all in the Turkish
yes,
language.
when you do this, you've read the minimum what? The minimum Arabic language that you have to, right? Arabi, the fourth one is what? Al-Imam.
Yeah, all that was third one.
Yes. All that we were discussing was the third one on the khutbah, right? Right, so Al-Imam. Al-Rabi' Al-Imam, the condition of validity. The fourth condition is what? Al-Imam. Right? So Imam, وَمِن صِفَتِهِ أن يكون ممن تجب عليه الجمعة احترازا من الصبي والمسافر. So here, the Imam is one of the conditions of validity, meaning they can't be khutbah without Imam, right? So this Imam should what? Should be among those Friday prayer, among those whom Friday prayer is what? It's obligatory upon, right? So the Juma prayer is obligatory upon this Imam. It's not a minor and also not a traveler. Do you get it? Not a minor or not a traveler. Okay, so that's it. The Imam should not be what? A minor, or should not be what? A traveler, or someone whom Friday prayer is not obligated on, like a slave, right? A slave, yeah, or a traveler or a minor. You understand? The person has to be what? Among those, Friday prayer is what? Obligated on. So now we do receive guests, right?
Yeah.
From who are not here, they are not residents, but they will come and lead the Juma prayer. What of that too? You know, renowned speakers, they do come here to give khutbah, right? So here, perhaps they came and then they are spending more than 4 days. When a traveler intends to spend more than 4 days, the person is not a traveler anymore. So the person can lead a prayer.
I didn't even think of that.
You get it?
Yeah.
The person can lead prayer.
Okay.
You understand? But let's say the person is staying in Accra for 2 days. He's still a traveler. He don't have to lead the prayer.
Okay.
It's not qualified because the Friday prayer is not obligatory.
Upon.
You get it? Yeah. So if you see a traveler, let's say someone who is not a Ghanaian or a renowned scholar or a preacher has come to lead the Juma prayer, then there's a possibility that he has stayed for more than 4 days. You get it?
Okay, so what about if the person has the intention of staying more than 4 days, but maybe the person came 2 days, but he knows that he's going to be here for like a week.
Yeah, so here the intention enough, it's the intention suffice. Let's say even he arrived here on Thursday, today is Friday, and then the committee of the masjid got to know that this person is in town. So they invited him and he accepted. Yeah, so here his intention is enough. So here he will not pray Qasr anymore. He has to pray 4. He has to pray complete.
Okay.
So we will discuss that when we get to Salat and Musafir. You get it? So when you see Imam who is not resident, then perhaps he has intended to stay 4 days in Accra or has stayed more than 4 days. Otherwise, it's not qualified. So when
The Imam doesn't know.
now how did he become Imam?
Maybe probably they will be. He has to be. Stay for 4 days before.
No. If you say Imam knows this. Yes, Imam. Just subhanallah. This is a basic fiqh, you know. Yeah, so may Allah grant us understanding. So he said, وَغَيْرِهِمَا مِمَّنْ لَمْ تَجِبْ عَلَيْهِمْ. Right? So this is the condition of Imam, and then what has to do with it, and then those who Friday prayer are not obligatory on them to, they are not qualified to lead the Friday prayer. Is that clear? And he said, وَيُشْتَرَطُ أن يكون المصلي بالجماعة هو الخطيب إلا لعذر يمنعه من ذلك. And then also is what? It is part of the condition or recommended that the preacher, the person who read the khutbah should lead the prayer. Yeah? The person who read the khutbah should read the prayer. Should lead the prayer. You understand? But if there's something that prevents him to lead the prayer, then he can what? He can appoint someone else to do that. Let's say he has finished giving the khutbah and he invalidated his ablution. You understand? And then the place where he can go and perform ablution is far from the masjid. So here, it's not right to keep people waiting. But if the place of ablution is close to the masjid, then it is wajib on the people to wait for him to perform ablution. You understand? So when the place is far, then he can appoint someone to. And then it's also a dislike for Imam to come and give khutbah without a valid ablution. Do you get it? So part of the things that will prevent a person who read the khutbah to lead a prayer could be sickness, or let's say maybe the person has fainted or something, or let's say has a mental issue. Immediately after the khutbah, his mental issue started and all that. So all these are some of the things that could prevent Imam from Khatib from leading the Salah. Is that correct?
If the Imam is someone who is paralyzed, he can talk, he can do everything. He was able to give the khutbah, but because of his health-wise, he was seated. So he can lead the prayer like that too.
Yeah, he can lead the prayer like that. Yeah. But disliked.
Disliked.
Yeah, disliked. But he can give the khutbah. No, not to sit and lead the prayer. I'm not talking about leading the prayer. I'm talking about khutbah. But he can't sit like that. If that is the case, then he's sick. Someone else should lead the prayer. Yeah. He can't sit and lead those who are standing.
That's in a case of 12 men. And he's the only one there who is an Imam. Maybe other men, but they're not qualified as to maybe within the knowledge. You see, so. And he's the only one who can speak Arabic.
If that is the case, then no problem. He can sit and then give khutbah, and then appoint someone to lead prayer.
But he doesn't have to lead the prayer.
Yeah, because he can't sit and lead those who are standing prayer.
That's why God is maybe those who are they are no, they don't know much. He knows more.
Yes, of course, he knows more than them, but can they lead the prayer? They can, right? Right? See, no, but see, brothers, leading prayer is not about Fatiha and Surah. Seriously, you know, it's not about Fatiha and Surah. There are many things beyond that. The person leading a prayer should know what is wajib and what is sunnah and what is fadail, and then how to pray. Because if you don't know this, you will never be able to figure out qabli and badi. You get it? So it's very important. Many people think it's just Fatiha and Surah. It's more than that, Sheikh Hacham. Alright, so, and then he said, وَيَجِبُ انْتِظَارُهُ لِلْعُذْرِ الْقَرِيبِ عَلَى الْأَصَحِ. So if they say the Imam has invalidated his ablution, and then where the ablution area is close to the masjid, then it is what is obligatory upon them to wait for him. Okay, and then the fifth one, الخامس موضع استئطان فلا تقام الجمعة إلا في موضع يستوطن فيه ويكون محلا للإقامة يمكن المثوى فيه بلدا كان أو قرية. So here, this is the fifth one. It should be what? It should be a residential area. But if you say residential area here, we don't mean where the elites live. Right? It should be a residential area where people have settled. Right? Where there is settlement. This is a residential area. You understand? So it should be at a place of what residence, not a new site. Let's say you see a house from distance, you have to walk like kilometers to see another house. Not this. There should be what? A settlement, house close to a house like that. This is where Juma. So it should be what? It should be a place like that, a town or a village. But if there's a lot of settlement, the houses closest and people, then it's what? It's obligatory. But if let's say there's a settlement, but people are not many there. There are many settlements, but 5 Muslims, 10 Muslims. It's not obligatory upon them. You get it?
Yes.
So this was one of the conditions. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So and then here وآداب الجمعة فثمانية. And also these are the manners. So we are done with what? The obligation, the condition of what? Obligation of Friday prayer.
The fifth one is just one.
Yeah, that one. And then we also finish with what? The validity of what? Friday prayer. Okay. So now we are moving on to what? To the adab, to the manners of Friday prayer. Is that clear? Okay. وأما آداب الجمعة فثمانية. It's what? It's 8. There are 8. The manners of what? Friday is what? There are 8. فثمانية. There are 8. الأول الغسل لها وهو سنة عند الجمهور ومن شروطه أن يكون متصلا بالرواحي فإن اغتسل واشتغل بغداء أو نوم أعاد الغسل على المشهور. So the first adab is what? Is ghusl. That is ritual bath. That's the ghusl. We've discussed it in the book of purification. So here, it is sunnah to perform ghusl, right? So the Prophet said, al-ghusl yawm al-jum'ah wajibun ala kulli muhtalim. It is what? He said it's wajib, but here it means recommended upon what? Every adult Muslim to perform. So and then he said part of the condition is that it should be close. The ritual bathing should be close to what? To go into the masjid. Meaning you should perform it when you are about to go to what? To the masjid. Right? You should not take your ritual bath and then engage in many things before you go to what? You go to the Juma, right? That is when you are leaving from the house to the masjid.
Okay.
But let's say that you are working, you leave the house early to go to work, right? So you have to report to the office before you go to the Juma. So here there's no way you can what? You can go back to what? To perform. So you can perform in the morning to what? Before you go to work. Okay? And it's also recommended that you should not perform this ritual bath before Fajr time. It should be after what? The second azan of Fajr. Let's say that you leave the house early, let's say, or you wake up early to take your bath and everything to prepare before Fajr prayer. So here the ritual bath should be performed after the Fajr prayer. You get it? Because that's when the new day starts. When you do
After the azan.
after the azan, the second
After the
azan.
Fajr azan.
The second azan. Yeah. Exactly? Yes.
But actually, you know, like here, like the first azan normally is like tahajjud time. And the second azan is the time that the Fajr enters.
Yeah, that's what we are talking about. The second azan. Yeah, because when you pray, when you perform the ritual bath after the first azan, it's still at night.
Yes.
You understand? And you are performing it for Juma, for Yawmul Juma,
Okay.
for the day of Juma, not the night of Juma.
Okay.
You understand? Let's say you are also a person who bath at night, then in the morning the person will dress and go out. Right? So with the ghusl, with that it's not valid. You have to perform what? Another ghusl in the morning or at dawn. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So when after performing it, when you engage in something, you have to what? You have to repeat it. Okay. And then the second one is what? Siwak. Using what? The chewing stick. It's also what? Part of the sunnah. And then halku ashari, and also what? Shaving, to make sure that you shave your hair. That's if it has grown, then you make sure you shave it before. But if it has not grown, it's normal. Like the Imam's own, it's normal. You don't have to shave.
So what if you just wear for long?
To what?
Just wear for long.
You
put on a cap or something.
when
Because you don't want to shave.
may Allah accept it. And then Arabi, the fourth one, taklimu al-adhafir, trimming of what? Trimming of the nails.
Okay.
It's also part of the sunnah of what? Yawm al-Jum'ah. And then khamis, the fifth one, tajannubu ma yatawalladu minhu rahihatu al-kariha. Also to stay away from things that may cause an offensive or bad smell. Okay, so if you know that after the ritual bath you engage in something that when you go to the masjid it will affect people, meaning the smell will affect people, it's not good, like eating onion or garlic, or let's say using a very bad perfume, very thing that affects people. So with this it's also what? It's also not good. Okay? So as-sadis at-tajammulu bi-thiyab al-hasana. You should wear what? Your best clothes, your best dress on Friday. You understand? It's also part of what? The adab, the sunnah of what? Of Friday. And also as-sabi' at-tayyub laha. Also to apply perfume if you have. Okay, it's also what? It's also good. Al-thamin al-mashyu laha duna al-rukubi illa li'udhrin yamna'uhu min dhalik. And also the eighth one, it's to walk to the masjid. To walk to the masjid, and do not ride or drive. That is, of course, here it's if your house is close to the masjid. But if you are coming from far, you can't walk, right? If you have to walk, you come to the masjid smelling bad, and then you have the chances of missing the prayer is also what? It's also high. Exactly. So that's all. That's the 8 adab of what? Of the Juma, right?
Please, you say the third one is.
The third one is halku ashari, shaving of what the hair. You shave it very well if it's grown or bushy, then you shave it. Is that clear?
Yes.
Should we proceed?
No,
Okay. So he said, وَأَمَّا الْأَعْذَارُ الْمُبِيحَةُ لِلتَّخَلُّفِ عَنْهَا. So there are certain excuses, there are certain justification, there are certain reasons that could prevent one from attending the Fajr prayer, the Jum'ah prayer, right? It's not every reason or every justification or excuse that is acceptable, right? So, and also missing the Fajr, the Jum'ah prayer deliberately or without any valid excuse is haram. And then whoever does that deliberately and also without reverence to the Friday prayer, Allah will seal the person's heart. That's the statement of the Prophet. So here, attending it is very important, and it's also It's also wajib. But there are certain reasons or certain excuses that are legally accepted to pardon a person from attending. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So he said, min dhalika al-matar. So rain, when there is a heavy rain, right, a person cannot walk to the masjid because of the rain. Then a person can pray Zuhur at home. So here, the rain is it's a valid excuse, right? Because you have no control over the rain. Okay, like you just prepare to leave, and then it starts raining. What should you do? You have to stay. But if you have something, let's say you drive to the masjid, then you have to. You understand? This is for those who walk. You understand? Yeah, this is for those who walk. But if you drive, you have to drive to the... so, al-mataru al-shadid. So here he said heavy rain. So even if it is drizzling, for drizzling you have to walk. Because walking in that drizzling is barakah. It's blessing. So you should not deprive yourself from that.
Hey, before you come, I'll wait.
No, you will not be.
Say, the driving is even if you are close to the mosque.
No, driving, of course.
During the rain.
Yeah, you can drive. You can drive. If you're close to the mosque. Yeah, that's part of adab. So if it's due to the rain, then there's no problem. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and he said, وَالْوَحْلُ الْكَثِيرِ And here, he said, also, and fear, severe, when a person is, when there's fear of something, then attending the Friday prayer is also not obligatory. So for instance, there's, let's say, a disease or a virus outbreak or something like that, that when you fear that when you go out you may contract or you may be affected by it, you don't have to go out. Or you are in debt. You are indebted to someone. When you go out, the person will get you arrested. What do? You can stay. That's if you don't have the money to pay. You can stay away from you can miss the Friday prayer. Because if let's say that you know that the person will be will be looking for you at the prayer ground, you can miss the prayer. You get it. But if you have the money to pay, this is not an excuse. You have to pay. You get it. والمجذم الذي تضر رائحته بجماعة والمرض والتمريض. So here it's also we discussed about the leper, a person with leprosy. You understand? So if let's say it has gotten to a stage that it gives bad smell, it gives bad smell. So with that, you can stay away from from the congregational prayer on Friday, right? Yeah. It's a sickness, It's a sickness, it's a kind of disease, a skin disease. Okay, so it gives, you see different spots of, different color of the skin. Let's say, like the way my skin is, you see kind of yellow, some part of the body here will be completely yellow. Here too will be like that, some part of the neck. Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah. So here sometimes it gives bad smell. So when it gets to that stage, what do? You can miss the Friday prayer due to that. Is that clear?
Yes.
And then also walmaradu, that's also a sickness. If let's say you are sick to the extent you can't attend the Friday prayer, it's also permissible for you to miss it. What tamridu, that is if you are taking care of a sick person. You understand? You are taking care of a sick person, and then there's no one to take care of the person except you. And when you go, the person it will affect the person. You understand? It will affect the sick person. Then you have to stay, and then you will not be sinful. Is that clear? And also والتمريض بأن يكون عنده أحد من أهله مريضا كالزوجة والولد وأحد أبويه وليس عنده من يعوله فيحتاج إلى التخلف لتمريضه. So this sick person could be your wife, your child, or your parent, one of your parents. So if it's any one of them, and then there's no one to take care of them, and then leaving them will affect them, maybe you have to be attending to a specific thing per the prescription of a doctor, then you don't have to leave the person for Friday prayer.
So if it's outside that.
If it's outside what?
If it's outside your father, your mother, or family.
Yeah, so it's though. So he mentioned someone related to you. Let's say a friend who has no one, who is living with you, and there's no one to take care of him, and you have to observe certain medication in a certain time, like say after every 20 minutes, 50 minutes, something like that. So here you can also stay away. You can also miss the Friday prayer without any sin. This is a legitimate reason or justification. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. ومن ذلك إذا احتضر أحد من أقاربه أو إخوانه. So also let's say that a person that's a deceased, a dead person, whom you have to prepare. So some will go to the masjid, and then you will stay to prepare the person. So this also is a legitimate excuse or reason to not to attend the Jumu'ah prayer. Okay. قال مالك في الرجل يهلك يوم الجمعة فيختلف عنده رجل من إخوانه ينظر في شأنه لا بأس في ذلك. So as I explained, if there's a dead person, a person who is dead, and then it's on Friday, so you have to prepare the person, bath the person, apply the person's the shroud. Okay, then you can miss the prayer without anything. This is also a legitimate reason. ومنها لو خاف على نفسه من ضرب ظالم أو حبسه وأخذ ماله وكذلك المعسر يخاف أن يحبسه غريمه على الأصح. So also we explained that if a person is indebted to someone, and then he's sure that the person will be searching for him, and then he'll be arrested when you go to the prayer ground, the person can miss prayer. That's if he don't have the money to pay, right? Okay. So let's say that there's let's say a tyrant person, right, outside. On his way to the masjid, he can take his property or harm him. There's also what you can stay away from going. Let's say you are living in, let's say, in a rural area where you have to use a certain a route to the masjid, and then there are people on the way they attack. You understand? So with that, they attack and rob. So with that, you can decide not to go to Juma because of what? Because of them. Because you have to protect your life and also your property.
Yes.
You get it?
Okay.
Yeah.
When you were village, there's from a village to one village. Okay. Now you see, our village is by the roadside. So the roadside one, we have another village. That one is there's no problem. But there's one village that is not. It's a bit far. I mean, you don't go through the main road. You have to branch on the two mountains and you decide like you climb. So they were saying that there are some bad people in that way. So whenever we are passing, the way we get afraid. But we didn't see any bad person actually, but for people say. So it created that mindset. I understand what you said.
Yeah. So like that.
So even just with the fear of that, and you have never encountered of that, but you hear people say you can decide not to go to mosque.
Yeah, but you have to be sure. You have to find out that it's true. You understand, not just a rumor.
Say yes, you're a new person who came to the
Yeah, of course. Then you don't have to risk your life and your property. Yeah, but you should still find out. You understand? Not to say, okay, let me go and try. No. We understand. During the week, you can find out. You can ask people around. You've heard this. How true is this? To find out. You get it? Yeah. So ومن ذلك الأعمى الذي لا قاعد له. So also a blind person who has no one to lead him to what? To the Friday prayer. It is what? The person can miss the Friday prayer without any sin. But if a blind person has someone to lead him, then it's a must. The person should attend. أما لو كان له قاعد أو كان ممن يهتدي للجامع بلا قاعد فلا يجوز له التخلف عنها. So here he said, if it's someone who can find his way to the masjid without the help of anyone, then he must attend. You understand? But if it's someone who cannot, except with the help of another person, then the blind person can miss the prayer without any sin. Exactly? Yes. Okay. ويحرم السفر عند الزوال من يوم الجمعة على من يجب عليه الجمعة. So here it said also, it is what? It's prohibited to set off on a journey on Friday morning before in the time of what? Juma. We know that it's not obligatory on a traveler. So you can't just say, okay, you are just setting off on a journey 5 minutes before Juma prayer. No. You are sinful when you miss it, when you miss the Friday prayer. But when you set off on a journey in the morning, let's say from 7, you are not sinful.
So what if it's a flight you have to catch? And you'll be going exactly 11:40 something closer to the time of prayer.
Yeah, so with the flight it's a bit different, but no one booked for it, you booked it. Right?
So that's the only time the flight goes.
So if that is the case, no problem. But if you have different dates and you decide to choose Friday, but of course if it is you did that intentionally, you'll be sinful. But if it's just you booked it, after that you realize that it's Friday 11, you are not sinful, inshallah. You get it? But it should not be what? You should not do that deliberately. When it is deliberate, then you are sinful. Is that clear? Alright, so it's left with a bit, then we finish. Juma, any question?
Yes.
Okay.
So, with regards to the 12 people, 12 men in the mosque. So what if you are in an area where the people come to the house but they can't meet? And know in the area you haven't 13 men and the man is ready and the 11, or maybe let's say 5 men are ready, and the khutbah is waiting for. Can he start the khutbah before the race comes?
No, they have
He
to
has to
come.
wait.
They have to come.
And what if they all wait in the mosque, hoping to see one person to come, and the person doesn't come at last?
Then they'll praise over. Then they'll praise over. So, it's happening a lot. Many mosques, people don't come early. You know, people come late. So, you enter a mosque and then with 4 people, the imam is busy reading the khutbah. To the 4 people. So he said, وكذلك يحرم عليه الكلام والنافلة والإمام يخطب. And it is haram for a person to talk or to engage in optional prayer in nafila when the imam is giving khutbah. It is haram. ويحرم عليه الكلام والنافلة والإمام يخطب سواء كان في الخطبة الأولى أو الثانية. Regardless of what, whether the khutbah is in the first, whether it's the first khutbah or the second khutbah. You don't talk when the imam is giving khutbah. You don't engage in optional prayer when the imam is giving khutbah.
Sir, do we have different mazhab on this?
What do you want to ask?
Yeah, about that, because I learned there are reports that
Okay.
you can either, when you come and they're doing this one, you can pray this one, or you can just sit. Because I heard someone, I don't remember who, but I learned their reports that the Prophet said, you can come and meet, when they are doing the khutbah, you can come and observe your...
No, the Prophet did not see that. There was a companion who entered, and the Prophet was what? Reading the khutbah. And then he asked him, the companion sat when he entered. The Prophet asked him, have you prayed a voluntary prayer?
No.
He said no. He said, then get up and pray. I understand. And then there's also a report, someone came in, then the Prophet asked him to sit. You know. So here, there's a very lengthy discussion on this, on whether you can pray or not. But this is according to our madhab. The Imam said, وَيَحْرُمُ. It is haram to engage, to talk when the Imam is giving khutbah. And to also engage in what? In the optional prayer. When the Imam is what? Giving khutbah. See, listening to the khutbah is wajib. Right? It's wajib. So, how do you engage in something optional and leave the wajib?
Okay.
You get it? So, it's like you came to pray, right? And then the Imam is already in prayer. And you came and then you are praying optional prayer. Is that acceptable? No. Do you remember we discussed this? When you entered the mosque to pray Zuhur, the Imam is praying Zuhur. Can you pray optional prayer whilst the Imam is? No. So you are here to pray Fajr prayer, Jummah prayer. And the Jummah prayer is preceded by the khutbah. The Imam is giving khutbah, reading the khutbah. And you are busy praying. You get it? So it doesn't show respect to what? To the Imam. You have to what? You have to, when you enter, you sit and listen to the khutbah. That's according to what? According to our madhab. And as you heard, وَيَحْرُمُ, it is haram. But when you enter and you see someone praying, don't condemn the person. It is also what? It is not wrong when you see someone praying optional prayer when the Imam is giving khutbah. But I mean, how do you do that?
We need education.
The Imam is giving khutbah. You are busy praying this. And you see some people talking. You see some people snapping pictures, TikToking, doing a whole lot of videoing and all that.
So what about that? Imam is giving khutbah and recording.
And so you've lost the blessing of the Jummah.
And so maybe they are recording for just like the way we do in Mecca. And also in our masjid, like the big mosque, you set up camera to record.
For the cameraman, there's no problem.
But say the cameraman does not pray. That's the problem.
Says so, he prays.
Say, there are times that you see the Imam is praying and he has to really record the face of the Imam.
No. That's the first rakah.
The face?
The first rakah. Mostly is the first rakah. Of course, the cameraman will secure his place in the first roll. So he'll take that video, he'll take the face, whatever of the Imam, then go back to what? To the roll.
So meaning he misses one?
No, you don't miss. By the time the Imam finished reciting Fatiha Surah, it's already there. I've witnessed this.
Our own he prays,
He pray.
Our own. He prays.
Because I've seen, there were sometimes, I think if Imam had visitors. So I saw someone, they were praying and he was busy recording.
Yeah, I remember this, it's you know, there are some people, they don't pray. So one of these camera. I remember. Someone came like that. Yeah, he took he covered everything, recorded everything. Yeah. But he came from somewhere purposefully for that. So he was a traveler, but he stayed here more than 4 days. What? May Allah set it.
You stayed here who always come to pray Juma?
I don't study, but I've seen it, I've observed.
You need education, seriously.
It's very important.
You need education.
It's very important. It's very important.
Because in the mosque here, when the Imam started to, like when you're calling Azan, everyone will stand waiting for the Azan to finish. So when the Azan is done, is completed, that is when the Imam stands for the khutbah. And that is when everybody starts praying. Yeah, listen, have you ever whether you're
Yes, I've observed. Yeah, and this is wrong. According to Amazon, this is wrong. But you know, you don't also condemn, because when there's another opinion, you don't also condemn completely. But sticking to the mazhab is better. You just, how will it be when you enter, when everyone enter, he will just sit and listen to the khutbah. There will be order, right? But the imam will be busy reading the khutbah, and you see someone praying, he don't pray well, he's looking at the light, and
And also another thing is that when the imam is giving khutbah, the adhan is being said, but we don't pray, we can't pray when the adhan is being said.
Yeah, you can't pray. So when the azan ends, you sit and listen to the khutbah. That's when the khutbah starts.
Okay.
So when, let's say, you start praying before the azan, you complete it. You get it? But when you enter and the imam is on the minbar, on the pulpit, and the azan is being read, you sit.
You sit.
Even after the azan, you sit. You sit and listen to the khutbah. That's it. You don't talk. When you talk, you lose the reward of Jummah. You know, when you come before the imam, there's a reward you get. So when you talk or engage in anything, you lose that reward. Because the Prophet said, Man takallama wal imam yakhutub faqad lagha wa man lagha fala jum'ata lahu. Whoever talks while the imam is reading the khutbah, the person has faqad lagha, has said something bad. Faqad lagha wa man lagha fala jum'ata lahu. And whoever speak something that is not beneficial, faqad lagha. Right? Faqad lagha wa man lagha fala jum'ata lahu. And whoever does that, the person will lose the reward of Jummah. Right? So
Sure. What about those contacting the people to sit properly? Even though they are not the security, but they are just in the mosque and they are trying to ensure everyone sits well. So they are moving around the people and just making sure they sit well.
Well, for them, Allah accept it. It's a good cause. It's a good cause. May Allah accept it. They are rendering a service.
So listen, those who are what's the topic that we're doing just now, about those who could be exempted from Najuma,
Yeah.
right? What about securities? I mean, securities maybe at the masjid or how is their own?
So, like securities, when we are sure that when everyone go to pray, the property will be at risk. In that case, the securities will be in their post, and then make sure everything is okay, make sure the property is protected and everything. After that, they go and pray Zuhur. You understand?
Okay.
So does that mean Juma is not obligated upon them?
It's obligatory upon them, but they have what? A legitimate excuse.
So this is a justification.
Yeah, this is a good justification, because property is at stake here.
But last time you mentioned they can make their intention to, even though they are standing.
But this should not continue. Like, it should be what? In attenuation, in kind of in a shift way. You know, not always this person will be on duty on Friday. No. If, let's say, it can what? It can be in
So what
kind
if
of
that's the
rotation.
latest?
Brother, it can't be that way. Yeah, if that is the way, then you have nothing to do. So you should hate that. Yeah, you should hate that, because it's not a good thing. Missing Friday prayer because of prophet. It's really bad. Yeah. May Allah accept it. So ويجلس الرجل ولا يصلي إلا أن يكون تبلس بنفل قبل دخول الإمام فيتم ذلك. So here, except let's say that if the person is praying, right? The person has started praying before the Imam entered. So in this case, the person will complete the prayer and then sit. But when you enter and the Imam is what? He's giving khutbah, or about to start khutbah, you don't pray, you sit. Exactly. And he said, ويحرم البيع والشراء عند الآذان الثاني. And also it's prohibited to engage in in buying and selling after the azan, or immediately the azan, or the second azan is is being called.
So also we've observed that mostly when people come to Juma during the Imam's khutbah, you can see now that they are greeting.
This is also not bad. It's all part of the lagu. It's nullifying the reward of Juma.
It nullifies.
Yeah. And then even so, he will mention it when someone sneezes. It is wajib when someone sneezes and say Alhamdulillah. It's wajib to say Yarhamukallah. But if someone sneezes and say Alhamdulillah, don't mind the person. Say Yarhamukallah in your heart silently. When you say Yarhamukallah, you've spoken, and then you will lose the reward of Juma. Yes. You get it? So, ويفسخ إن وقع ويكره ترك العمل يوم الجمعة. So here, it's not good to engage in buying and selling after the second adhan, right? So, and also it is disliked to leave work or to take off on Fridays, to say that I don't work on Fridays. But if it is you take off on Friday just to be able to prepare well for Friday prayer and then rest, then it's acceptable. But it's recommended that you also after the Juma you go and work. You don't take Friday as kind of a secret day, you don't work, or you don't.
So if your own work, it's your own work. You own the business like a store or something. And to handle the Friday.
Yeah, so it's then you get a reward for handling the Friday, because it's a symbol of Islam. You handle the Friday, but you don't take it as how the Christians and the Jews take Saturdays and Sundays. You know, they say they take it as a secret day. They can't engage in any trade or something. I understand. But you don't do that. When you take it as Friday, so that you can prepare for Friday, for the Jumu'ah, prepare very well, and then pray and relax. It's good. But you get it. وتنفل الإمام قبل الخطبة. It is also disliked for Imam to enter, pray optional prayer before you go to the member. No. When the Imam enters, direct he has to go to the member. He don't have to what? Engage in what? Any optional prayer. I understand. So, but when the Imam, let's say that it's a mosque that people don't come early. So the Imam has to come and wait 30 minutes for the people to come. So in that case, of course, he can what? He can pray optional prayer before the khutbah. You get it? So, but let's say the Imam, when he arrived, the congregants were already there, full in the masjid. The masjid, he should go direct to the member and not what? Engage in optional prayer. This is dislike.
So what if he comes maybe 5 minutes before the time?
And then are there people in the mosque?
Yeah, in the mosque.
Yeah, so when
some mosques have a back door for just imams.
Okay.
So when they come, they sajada, everything like a small mini room. So he can.
Yeah, with that he can do that. That mini room is not the masjid. So when he enter the masjid, he can't go to the masjid, enter the masjid, stand in the first row, pray 2 units prayer before the khutbah. This is what we are talking about. You understand? And but when you come enter the back door, no one sees him, right? You go and enter, pray whatever you want to enter, pray before that time. Do you get it? Exactly. Like here we have the imam, the room for the imam. When he enters, he can pray in the nawafil. Then before he enters the mosque. This is acceptable. And when you go to the community or mosque that people don't come early, it's their norm. They don't they don't come early. What do? You pray your optional prayer before they come. It's this not this line. Exactly. وكذلك يكره للجالس أن يتنفل عند الآذان الأول ويكره and also it also dislike. It is also dislike for a person to what? A person seated, who is already seated, to pray optional prayer after the first azan. Let's say the person is already seated. He has not prayed anything, just seated. Immediately after the first azan, he got up and then prayed nafila. You understand? But when you enter, you can pray as many rakats as you want.
Before the khutbah.
No, not before the adhan. Before the first adhan. You understand?
So what if you just entered?
What time? At what time?
After the first azan.
And
no problem, you can. This we are talking about someone who is already seated before the first adhan. You understand? So when you enter before the first adhan, you can pray whatever you want. So when you sit and then the second azan is read, you don't get up and pray again.
What if the imam is late? Can there be first azan before the imam?
Of course, always the first adhan is before the imam. when the imam...
Okay, the second adhan.
Yeah.
Can there be second adhan before the imam?
No, the imam, when the imam enters, that's when the second adhan is raised.
And imam is late.
Then the second azan will not be called until the imam enters.
Until the imam comes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah. So and then ويكره حضور الشابة للجمعة وكذلك السفر بعد الفجر والله أعلم. And also it is disliked for a young lady, right? A young beautiful lady to attend the Friday congregational prayer, right? Someone very, very beautiful, right? Whenever she comes, people will be looking at her. Yes, it's disliked, right?
Hey,
what if the lady sees herself as not beautiful?
Not she seeing herself. Is she beautiful or not? If she is beautiful, then it is disliked unless she cover herself very well. You understand? She not necessarily niqab, but in a way that people will not see her beauty.
Madam, can you describe the beauty?
Yes.
Because I don't get it. Describe it right. I don't get it. What do you understand?
No,
The beauty, like. There's someone who is naked I think about that one.
Brothers. Brothers. What is this? If you see a lady is beautiful, what does it mean? A beautiful lady.
If you say beautiful, it talks about many things.
I mean,
Say-
he has
say
dressed
the
well.
reason-
She
the
has
reason I'm-
dressed very well. I mean, she has
Maybe
covered
she
she
has
has covered
covered
it
it
very well. Maybe only the best is left.
The reason is that when we say someone is beautiful, is different. I mean, all of our eyes are different. Yeah, we know someone is like obviously it could be a married person as well. This is a married person and she's beautiful. Is it also that one?
Brother, this a beautiful brother, a lady, someone who is beautiful. Do you need explanation on this? Beautiful woman, someone who is beautiful. Yeah, she's beautiful. You know, a beautiful woman, no matter what she wears, she's beautiful, right? Yes. But and then when what are we discussing here? Juma prayer. Does a woman come to Juma without covering?
No.
You get it? Of course, some ladies do. They just wear anything and come. But we are not talking about that. We are talking about what beautiful women who dress well and come. You understand? Even with them, when they come, because of the beauty, you be walking to the khutbah and then, you have divided. So with them, it's what it disliked. Why? Because of the fitna that, especially if they are not well dressed. Nowadays too, some women dress and then you could see many things, exposed. If a woman is in such caliber, it is disliked for her to attend Juma prayer. You understand? Already it's not obligated on her to attend. So it is disliked if she's beautiful. So that's, do you get it now?
Yes.
Okay. Because brothers, we okay.
Say, I understand what Sheikh Ilyas is also talking about. Here it's not about the dress.
About what?
Here it's not about the dress. Of course, if you're coming to Juma, everybody know you wear a very, Islamic. But imagine like you are coming to Juma as a woman and maybe your family, the entire family is coming and the woman is there. It's not that everybody is saying you are beautiful or something, but that's the nature.
What is this here?
I don't understand.
Me, I also don't understand, but
I don't know how to best explain it.
yes, do you understand what I said?
But yes.
Is it clear?
Yes, clear.
Brothers, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So that's it. It is disliked for a beautiful lady to attend. You get it?
Yes.
Okay. وكذلك الفجر وكذلك السفر بعد الفجر. We've already explained this. Also, it is disliked to travel after Fajr. It is disliked. Wallahu alam. Allah knows best. Right? Any question?
Yes. See, I'm still on the 12th May.
Hey. Okay, ask.
See, what if maybe after prayers they finish observing the Zuhr and the 12th men come? I mean, the last man to complete 12. Can they observe Juma again? Or talking? Maybe the men were 11 and there were women, there were children. And because of that, they went up to the 12th and they observed Zuhr. And after the Zuhr, salam alaikum, and there is a 12th man who come.
No. They are done. That's all.
But what if they observe Juma?
Yeah, they will be rewarded for that. Yeah. Is that clear? Any question?
No. Yeah, my question is from previous lessons.
Okay.
It has been worrying me since. So we learned that it's not good to pray Nawafil before Maghrib, right? So now, let's say you call the Azan for Maghrib. We don't pray immediately after Maghrib. You have to wait for the students or the people to come before, like 7 minutes, 18 minutes, something like that before we pray Maghrib. So sometimes I come and then I'm just wondering, should I sit or what should I do? Because there's no what
Yes, optional prayer.
prayer before Maghrib. And also from the, I heard, maybe I may be wrong. You said the Tahiyatul Masjid is done before the Azan when you come to the mosque. So which one?
So here,
what do you do?
there are many things that you can do between that time interval, right? So you can engage in zikr, like zikr, Quran recitation, not necessary prayer, optional prayer. So at that time, it's recommended according to Mazhab, you don't pray. You get it. So, but with the Tahiyyat al-Masjid, we said that when you enter and it's not yet time for prayer, right? Then that's when you what? You make, let's say you enter, let's say before Zuhur, 10 minutes before Zuhur, you can make your Tahiyyat. But when you enter after the Azan, then you engage in what? In that Sunnat al-Ratiba. You get it? I hope it's clear.
Yes.
So at that time after the Fajr Azan, the Maghrib Azan, you don't engage in any optional prayer. You just you can just do zikr, tahiyyat, read Quran and you get it.
Okay.
Okay, let's pause here.